In this video, I want to open one of the previously created files, that is shoe.js. So inside variables there is a folder file called as shoe.js. So I'm just opening it. If you remember, while we are working this particular shoe.js file, I have mentioned that I will come back to this file if you remember. So I just have came back to this file. So here you can see that we have learnt about variables in this particular section, where we said if we want to save information in a program, if we want to save all this kind of information in a program, we will do it in variables, right? We would want to create a variables. So for that variable we will be assigning values. So we are creating name, price, free delivery, etc., and we are assigning values to them, right? So this is good, no doubt, but this works only if I am working with a single product. So if I am working with only Nike Air Max 90 SE sneakers, it works. But if I have one more product called as MacBook Pro or iPhone 14, this approach will not work, because even that product will have all these details like name, price, free delivery, sizes, right? So name duplicating of names will come, so we cannot use the same names here, or we cannot create multiple variables for a same product. So this is the problem. Then what is the solution for it? So if I'm looking at multiple products, like I said, right, MacBook Pro or iPhone 14, so very soon if I have to use that, I will run out of variable names. Variable name shortage will come for me, or I have to duplicate my variable names. For example, there is a variable name called as Air Max, Nike Air Max sneakers, right? So that we are looking at. Now let's say there is another product that we are looking at, which is gonna be Apple MacBook. So I have this product, no doubt, this is product number 1, and I have one more product called as MacBook. I have MacBook Pro 16 inches. So now I cannot continue to use the same variable name, because it is already taken. So it is already taken, we cannot use the same variable name, or we cannot give the same price or same colors or free delivery again, because they are already used above for shoes. So I have to use something called as name1 here, okay, which is not very efficient. We cannot do that, this is wrong. We cannot give that variable name. That is not efficient. Generally what happens is, while you are working with objects are collection of named values, or objects of collection of values, right? Objects are key value based, that's it, right? So within an object, I could keep all this information. So delete this for now. Within an object I can keep all this information inside a single object called as shoe. Okay, let's see how all this works. So I could keep all this different information. Instead of creating multiple variables, I can create a single variable called as a shoe object and naming it as shoe, and keep all this information as key value base. Let's see how it works. I'm just taking this product details and I'm copying all this information, and I'm going back to the types file. I'm creating a new file here. So here I'm calling it as obj object shoe.js. So observe, I'm creating a container here. So I'm creating a variable, and I'm keeping all this information here for my reference. How can I change all this storing information? So you will have a doubt, obviously. So how can you store all this information inside a single object? So let's see how I'm doing that. So here I'm creating a variable. And naming it as shoe. Okay, I'm creating a variable and I'm calling it as shoe, which is an object, no doubt. So observe, I'm creating a container. This is nothing but a container, okay, and all this above information I'm going to fit this inside this shoe. Okay, all the above information can be stored as properties or key value pairs inside shoe object. So I will start off with the first key value pair or property called as shoe. So here shoe is declared, and the first, what is the first property? That is name, right? Name. You see, I'm just giving short name, that is Air Max, and the next property is comma separated. We know that the next property is comma separated. Outside objects we use semicolons. So if it is like outside objects we use semicolons, right, for separating two or more variables. Here we are using semicolons, right? But inside object, if it is a key value pair, we have to separate them by using a comma. Okay, next we are giving price. I'm just giving a random price or the above price, and again comma separated. So the other property is price, and the other value is free delivery. Free delivery is true, comma separated again, and setting the value to true. So I'm setting the value to true. Next one is sizes. Sizes is obviously an array. I have already mentioned, right? Property values property can hold inside objects. Properties can hold values of any data types. It can be of string. It can hold a value of a boolean. It can hold a value of a number. It can hold a value of boolean. It can hold a value of an array as well. So here sizes are array, right? So I'm just storing as it is. I'm just copy pasting this. So again comma separated. Then I have colors property. Colors again an array, right? So I'm just taking as it is. It is comma separated. And then I have something called as description. So description, I'm not taking that lengthy description here. I'm just mentioning very comfortable running shoes. It is a string, right? We can put anything like that. You can even write this is one of the worst shoes on the planet. You can write anything description, right? But I'm keeping something positive, like this is very comfortable running shoes. And then comma separated again, and I have details now. So details, we have something called as ASIN. Inside details we have something called as ASIN, which is Amazon number. So here if you observe details, what is the data type of details? It is our object, right? So inside objects we can store values of property values of object data type as well. So the primary data type is object, but inside object we are storing again object. So this is something called as object of objects. Okay, so here the value is ASIN, and I'm not putting any comma here because it is only a single number. Let's say it is a combination of given something, or don't worry, I'm taking the same value. I'm not putting any comma here because if I put comma I have to give another property. If I put comma I have to give another property, but there is nothing. Details is only one property. It has ASIN, right? So I'm just giving without any commas. So here details is a property whose value is another object. This is also an object data type. Another property inside. So and finally, because this property is completed, I am giving comma again. And another property inside shoe is we have something called as get details, right? Get details, which is function. And if a property holding a value as a function, what is it called? It is called as method. You know that, right? We have seen it in the last class. So this is a method. So now we can assign a property as a method as well. Get details, and it is a function. It is an anonymous function. So get details now becomes a method. So it is a function, right? It holds a value as a function. So when a property is holding a function as its value, it is called as method. So inside this I want to print something like this name, this all the shoe details as a string. Okay, all these details, name, price, free delivery, size, colors, everything, all the above details as a string. How to do that? I'm just doing string concatenation as you saw it in previously. So this dot name plus I'm giving spaces plus this dot price. I'm just concatenating, don't worry. Spaces, this dot color. I'm again doing word wrap here, so to look everything in the same line, and then I'm just doing this dot description plus this dot details. So remember this details is an object, right? And inside it we have another property called as assign. So first time we are accessing this dot details. So I'm doing a word wrap here. How to toggle word wrap? We have to go to view and this one, or you can do something like go to view, toggle word wrap here. word wrap is toggled. Okay, so that doesn't mean the line number word wrap means the line number do not change. If you observe here, line number still says 27 for both the lines. So that's what word wrapping means. And this dot details, I have stopped at details, right? So here details is an object and I'm referring to this. So first time, what is this means? This means shoe object, right? And second time, this dot details means this dot this property. Okay, and now I want access to ascend, so I will say this dot details dot ascend. If you see my last class clearly, you will understand how I have written this dot details dot ascend. Okay, if you have any doubts, let me know later. So this dot details, remember this dot details is an object, and inside it we have another property called as ascend. So we access it by this dot details dot ascend. That's it. So this dot details is an object. Inside that object we have a property called as ascend. So it's done now. And outside objects we use semicolons, but we use comma separated inside objects. We have already seen that. So I'm not mentioning it again. So inside objects between properties we use commas. That is no doubt, right? Inside objects between properties we use commas. Another property is price. So all are done for now. So here what I'm doing is I'm doing console.log of shoe. Let's see how it works. Console.log of shoe. I'm printing the entire this particular all the details here in a single command. Sorry, node obj shoe.change. So if you see, complete object is printed here. We can see that entire object is displayed, so where the properties and values are demonstrated. So we have used or we have consumed all the property values in a single line using